Today on Metaphysical Mississippi, we have Holistic Hearts Collaborative. They'll be sharing a resonance, a retreat, and campout experience happening March 25th through 26th at Cedar Tree Farms. Enjoy the show. Welcome to Metaphysical Mississippi. I'm your host, Emily, and of course, we have the co-host, Krista. And today we have Holistic Hearts Collaborative. Beth, John, and Jennifer are here with us to talk about an upcoming campout retreat residence. How y'all doing today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Now, I saw it come across social media, which I love social media anyway for keeping people connected, but I saw the little flyer on Facebook and I'm like, oh, that looks so fun. We've got to have them on to talk about it. So thanks for taking time out of y'all's busy schedule to do this with us. So I would love for each of you just to share just a little bit about yourselves. And then I want to hear about Holistic Hearts Collaborative and what your mission is and what this retreat is going to be all about.
I want to say that Holistic Hearts Collaborative is way more than just the three of us. So we have a lot of different people that are in the healing community in Jackson that are part of our group. And we really just try to have events, and we've been doing it for about 2 years, trying to put together people that have similar interests, but also varied capabilities. So mixing together people that do yoga, dance, music, meditation, and really allowing our group to help spotlight the different talents of the healers in this community. So we really like our name. I'd say definitely because of the collaborative part of it. Every event that we've held so far has been completely unique. And what we like is that we're bringing together people that are in our community and offering the services that all of us offer in a one-day event, or for this event that we want to talk about, a weekend event, and then offering it also to the community of people that maybe haven't been around these types of modalities.
Oh, awesome. I love how you have the arts highlighted in your name. I mean that it's, the arts out of the hearts.
So Beth, tell us about yourself real quick and how you came into it.
Well, I really feel like it kind of started, Jason Lee, who does sound healing, was doing a sound bath at Fairview Inn, and it was outside on their deck. And then John was DJing, and I just went as a participant. I just went to go to the sound bath. And at some point in the evening, we just all said, like, we should try to do something together. And that is kind of where it all birthed and kind of got bigger and bigger of like, who wants to do something? Let's all do stuff together. And so it really was organically, formed in that way, but it's by no means just us. So we have lots of different people that have been involved with it in all the different events that we've held. So that's where I would say it kind of started, and then it's just bubbled up from there.
That event, by the way, was on 11/11, so I feel like it was kind of meant to be, kind of thing.
Ooh, 11/11.
It was pretty perfect.
So you don't really have to be an artist to participate. You can just love art, just be in the vibe of it all.
Or the healing arts. And Jennifer, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
I'm Jennifer Malik. I am a full-time yoga instructor, and yoga is my path. It's how I live my life. And recently in November, my family and I had a great opportunity to become the new caretakers of Cedar Tree Farms, which was started in 2018 by Anna and Greg Davis as a collaborative community space. And so we're really excited to so soon in our role as caretakers of that space to be able to have the event with Holistic Hearts there, because that's exactly what it's meant to be. So my journey in yoga, which it's all one, and So just the word collaborative really brings to light my journey, my dharma, my purpose, and I'm super excited to be with these guys.
Wonderful. Great. Well, John, tell us a little bit about you and your part in bringing this together.
Sure. So I knew a while back that, when I was getting into DJing, which ironically was about the same time I became a massage therapist. So it's like, I always say, I guess massage therapy was kind of my gateway modality into the holistic and kind of spiritual scenes. And so, I was doing that and then getting into Reiki and doing those things. And at the same time as I was like kind of getting my roots in DJing, music had always been, a big part of my life and everything, like as a percussionist, and, kind of really started more in the rave scene. But as I was getting more into the healing arts, my DJ style was really evolving too. And like just the kind of the style and type of events that I was really playing at. Scott Brady and I, back in late 2014 at Butterfly Yoga, started doing some collaborations for the Fondren's First Thursdays, the outdoor yoga classes there. And so that was really kind of a shift for me as far as like my direction, as a DJ. And like all along, there were these ideas of like wanting to kind of have an events team, but like really more meaningful in that, like, more from a conscious and holistic perspective. So, all of that was really kind of born out of that. So I was really starting to get more into sound healing and those types of things around the time that I actually met Jason and then Beth and, and then several other people. And as Beth mentioned, those ideas were really kind of birthed around that time. And we started talking about this, and, it was like, how about let's just bring these people together and just see what we can do, on that scale, and just to be able to showcase, different healers and wellness practitioners around the area. So that was really kind of the formation and creation of Holistic Hearts.
So I just want to say, I've been hosting and managing retreats for Flowering Lotus meditation for many years. And so the way that people go into retreat, it can be many ways. So we did an all-day event that was called Presence that we did a little over a year ago. And we did that at Eco Shed. And we basically had some really structured scheduling where people were doing meditation, yoga, ecstatic dance. And then we had our collaborative healers there offering Reiki, massage, and making it so that this whole event was no phones, keeping in the present moment and really experiencing that moment of stillness, also the moments of movement, and really being in the moment with everyone in the room. So at that event, we really had a lot of people moving through the same basic like modules of like those three things that I talked about: dance, yoga, and meditation. But we shared food. There were breaks where people got to know each other. And it really was and is about, in our events, about connecting with our community, connecting with each other, that whoever comes to that event. And what I can say is that every event is different. So it doesn't matter if one event that we did was like a bonfire and we were out there for maybe, just a few hours. Another event that we did, this Presence, was much longer. So I think it was like 3.5 hours of really having that, deeper connection with people. And, to me, I feel like every situation, every event that we have put on has been completely different, yet that common theme is connection and presence, of being in the present moment with our fellow healers and the community. So I think I went on the news for Presence, and some people showed up and we were like, whoa, you've never even heard of what we're doing. They hadn't ever really been around yoga or meditation. And they were like, this is awesome. When are you guys going to do another thing? And they had seen it on the news. So what we really want to do is let people know that these opportunities are here. It's almost like a tasting. So you're going to kind of get the taste for yoga, meditation, if you've never done anything like that, and be in a safe environment with people that are caring for you and wanting you to have the best experience possible while experiencing all these different disciplines.
And if I can add something really
Yes.
quick, Cedar Tree Farms, the entire purpose of the creation of this space as it is for community. It is for people to have a space that they can come to. It's not owned by anyone. Of course, it's owned by Greg and Anna Davis's. They created it. But even they'll tell you they don't own the land and they don't own the spirit there, and
Beautiful.
the land and the energy there. It's for everyone, not just for the people who are members of Holistic Hearts, but it's community. And everything that Beth says, that is the whole purpose of this space. And so we want everyone to know that you're welcome, no matter if you've ever experienced anything like this before or not.
Oh, I love that you're saying that, because I mean, I'm a little less of a newbie now that I'm getting a little more exposure, but I can see it being kind of like intimidating for someone who is just not in the woo-woo world of the holistics. And, like, I don't even know how to, I don't have a mantra, or, or what are they gonna, do I need to, people are just to show up as they are.
Yeah, come as
I
you
love
are.
that it's open.
I think that we definitely have the aspiration to be welcoming to anyone that shows up. And I think that the space is really adding that connection to nature and being grounded in the space. We're not talking about a building, we're talking about the earth. And so that's why we're doing that in a campout setting. So we want to offer it from the evening of the Saturday, and then spending the night if you want to, and waking up, on the land in the morning. And really, I feel like that is going to add a whole nother level of connection to the earth, connection to our planet, and really creating a very unique and temporary community in that moment of that retreat. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really fun and interesting, and whoever shows up was meant to be there. So
Beth, I have a question. I know at Presence, it was a shorter amount of time, just like 3.5 hours, and we had a schedule, and it was like bam, 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 which was good. I mean, we needed to have that structure. Will this retreat be a little more laid back, a little less?
So I've been told that I'm not allowed to give out armbands and tell people where to go to what station. Okay. Because I was definitely the conductor of like the experience in that way. And, we did it in a mindful way with bells and really keeping on track. But that was one, because we had the building for a certain amount of time. We couldn't just be going with the flow necessarily. 2, I'm a Virgo, and I was like, everybody must go to their stations at these different times. And so I was like, pink armbands, it's time for your healing sessions, and the spreadsheet that I made for that event was pretty epic.
I still have that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Props.
So,
Props.
but I think that that's the joy of having the space for a longer period of time, and really taking a more flow approach. So I'll let John talk more about what the schedule is going to look like, but it won't have armbands, and I won't be like hurting people. Okay. So I've already given up that idea. So I'm letting go of that.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah,
So
go on.
maybe this is a good time to tell us what all will be at this event. What activities do we have?
Absolutely. So yes, this one is definitely going to have a lot more of a laid back feel, and we want it to feel more flowy and organic. And although we'll still have a schedule, there will be more time in between to be able to between the modalities to get healing sessions and things like that. So the basic agenda, what we're looking at is we're going to start out around 2:00 on that Saturday afternoon, and anybody that's coming to camp is more than welcome to show up early and set up their tents, and there will be an option, to tent camp or car camp if you want to do that. So we're going to start out at 2 with the opening ceremony and meditation. And that's going to be with either Beth or William, or
We're doing it
possibly
together.
both
Yeah.
simultaneously. So I think that that's going to be amazing. There's this gorgeous ceremonial, like dream catcher space there that is absolutely beautiful, and the energy there is amazing. So super excited to hold our group sessions there. So we'll do the meditation and opening ceremony at 2, and then we'll go from that right into yoga after, and that'll be with Debbie Lewis, as most people in the community are well familiar with her, being around for a while. So that's going to be really special. And Jennifer is actually more than likely going to be assisting with that class as well. So we'll do yoga, and then after that, we'll have an hour break in between modalities. So, anybody that needs to finish setting up camp can do that. You can explore the farm. There's several trails in the area. And then we're also going to have healing arts practitioners set up, doing energy work, massage therapy. We may have a person or two there doing readings, that kind of thing, if so that's an option too. So we'll have an hour to do that, and then we'll meet back in the space for an offering that I'm super excited about. We're going to have a multi-healer sound bath, and that's actually going to be Jason Lee, who everybody knows, in the area for doing the sound baths that he does, and then Lindley Healy, William Kelly, Ben Tripp, and myself will be joining in, and it's going to be somewhat of a chakra journey sound bath, you could say, kind of a chakra activation. It's going to start out very earthy with drums, and we'll bring in the didge and have several instruments really connecting that together, and then we'll take it more celestial with bells and chimes and balls. It's going to be really special. Super excited about that. And then so after that, that'll last around an hour, and then we'll have another 45-minute break after that for a chance for more healing arts sessions or to free roam around the farm. And then after that, we'll meet for dinner. And so we are going to have dinner catered by Sweet Peas Vegan Eatery. Diamond has been so gracious to help us out with that. And for those that haven't had her cooking yet, it is pretty amazing. It's mouth-watering. So we're going to have 2 different options for that. We'll meet up for dinner, and then after dinner, we're going to light the fire, and then we'll have a community drum circle around the fire. And then following that, we'll go into, I'm going to play some high vibe spiritual dance music, and we'll have, if anybody feels like ecstatic dancing or however they feel inclined to move, we'll hold the space for that. And then kind of tone it down into some more kind of chill out ambient vibes. And then we'll settle down for the night. And that will be pretty much all the activities on Saturday. So we're going to offer 2 different ticket options, because there may be some people that want to come out for Saturday that may not wish to camp. So by design, the bulk of the retreat is going to be on Saturday. So you can come do all the things, and that'll include catered dinner and all the modalities, and that'll be for 100. And then for those that do want to camp, you'll have the option to camp. And then we'll start out Sunday morning with breakfast. And then after breakfast, we'll have about an hour slot for that. And then we'll meet back in the space. And then Jennifer will be doing yoga Sunday morning. Super excited about. And then we'll go into a closing meditation and closing ceremony with William and Beth again. And things will wrap up about 11 on Sunday. So should be super exciting. And that one will be 133, which will give you all the things on Saturday, plus option to camp, breakfast, morning yoga, and meditation. Yeah.
And you said that the events are going to be in or around the dream catcher. I call it a medicine wheel. It's not a medicine wheel, right? It's a dream catcher. What is that space?
Yeah, Jennifer, maybe
I've been to it. I've seen it.
Sure. So it is a ceremonial dream catcher. It was built by Jose Munez. It's one of 144 installations in the world. And it was created as a symbol for the community space, as an energetic agreement by whoever is on the land, taking care of the land, to hold space for community and to really teach that we are all one, we're all united, and that all happens through grace and love. And it's a symbol that is a safe and sacred space.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And so what are the ticket prices? Or
So for the Saturday pass, for all the modalities, and then plus dinner, which and that will also include the 15-minute healing arts session as well. That one will be for 100, and then to camp for the Saturday and Sunday pass to be able to camp and for breakfast and the modalities that morning, that will be 133 for that option.
I had a question about camping. So is it just tent camping?
So primarily tent camping, and then if someone does want to like car camp, because I know, you know, some people will set up to do that, that will be an option too, but it will be for the most part tent camping.
Of course, I'm thinking camping, is there bathroom facilities and
Yes, I'm glad that you mentioned that. So
yeah,
so there will be, is
wash
it
house.
the two
Mhm.
inside, the two inside bathrooms
Okay.
there, and there's a shower and tub that will be accessible in there, and there's also a super cool, really cozy, like covered private outside tub and shower as well, which will be accessible.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
the farmhouse will be open for, you know, whoever needs a space outside from outside. We really won't be having any activities in the farmhouse, but the farmhouse will be open.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Jennifer, how do you feel? You know, y'all know I got to get woo woo for just a second. How do you feel
Love it.
about you being the caretaker of a space? Ooh, I'm getting chills just thinking about. I mean, that's an honor that you're caretaker of a space where you can allow, or that you get to share this with other people.
It's very humbling. I take that very seriously. It's certainly a part of my path. The way that it happened is absolutely insane. No one really can even believe this. I woke up October 3rd, the morning of October 3rd, in my home in Belhaven, and we'd not had drinkable water since August the 9th.
Mhm.
And I said, this is it. Today's the day. I'm done. I'm out of here. By noon that day, I was in touch with Greg Davis. We had talked, and he's like, you know, well, now you have a place to go. So you can't make that up. I mean, it just happened, but we are truly humbled. The land there is so incredible. It's so magical. And we have, we'll be starting the farm back and sharing, you know, the gifts of the land with the community as well. It's
And-
very humbling.
It is near the Natchez Trace, isn't it?
Yes, it's completely surrounded by the Natchez Trace, like 360 degrees within Natchez Trace property. So the wildlife is incredible there. Just the air is incredible there. The water is incredible there. And there's a 200-year-old cedar tree on the farm, which is what the farm is named after. And just to go and sit, and I feel like that the cedar tree, you know, it's just like it holds the space. It protects the space. You know, it shares its stories, it shares its love, it shares its protection with whoever is there.
I've been to a previous property that you had when you had the winery, and I remember you had a tree, and it spawned me to, you know, write a little book about it. And I didn't mean for this to go off on this tangent with this discussion, but it just makes me the thought of trees and I just want to touch that cedar tree. I'm just going to go there and touch it.
Me too.
It wants to be hugged.
Yeah, yes. I was talking about that with Kelly the other day when we were doing an interview about hugging trees. And so anyway,
You have to buy the green wristband to hug the tree though.
the green wristband.
Charge extra $10
Are you
for that.
gonna charge extra?
That's not on the spreadsheet, so you're gonna have to pay extra for hugging the trees. Just kidding.
Oh,
It's
no.
priceless.
Go on.
And the farm is actually located outside of Raymond, between Raymond and Learned. Is that?
Yeah, tell us about how long it takes to get from Jackson to the farm, if you want to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Sure. So it's, the address is Edwards. It is not in Edwards. So location, for as far as location, the farm is 2 miles from Learned, Mississippi, or 10 minutes, 10 miles from downtown Raymond. So from Jackson, easy 45 minutes or less. Clinton, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Gotcha.
So that makes it easy if you want to come for all of Saturday, even though we'll be ending, towards the later side of the evening, if you could still run home after that. So know that like this is a whole afternoon and evening commitment of a lot of different activities that we'll all be doing together. And so if camping is something that's out of your wheelhouse and you don't want to commit to that, that's totally fine. That's why we offered the 2 different levels of experience, or the 2 different levels of entry, because you're still going to get the best experience and the whole experience if you go home after, the last bonfire and dance experiences. You'll still be able to like spend the evening under the stars and commune with all of us and really have a great time, and you can still go home and sleep in your own bed if you want to do that. So
Now you were talking about, I don't know why I'm obsessed about the bathroom facilities, and now I'm going to ask about the food options. This girl don't like to be hungry. No.
so
I'll
you're
have
going
my
to eat lunch
before
before
I
you come. So on that day, you'll eat lunch before you come. And then of course, if you're spending the night and you have things you want to bring, you can bring your own snacks. You can bring whatever you need to feel comfortable. We will have, beverage station. We'll have dinner Saturday night. And then we'll have breakfast on Sunday morning. But, when you're camping, you want to bring the things that make you feel comfortable. Even if you're not spending the night, still bring the things that make you feel comfortable. And we'll be the best hostesses and hosts that we can to make you feel comfortable. And that's really what we, envision. All of us are available for questions. We'll have the registration live. So some things will be explained on that, but know that anyone that's part of this event is really willing to answer any questions that you have about the space, what's available, what's not, what should I bring? We really want to try to make it as accessible as we can for anyone.
So if they want to bring a blanket and a little, one of those lawn chairs, whatever they're called, the kind that collapse and canvas, that's cool too. Now, if somebody just shows up without any of those things, there's plenty of places for them to just lay in the grass or.
Yes, for sure. And and I'm glad that we're talking about that, because, we will have some extras like, some mats and likely some blankets and different things like that, and places to sit. But yeah, I would say, for anyone, like any kind of camping chair or just a lawn chair, and probably even if you do have one of those things, like even if you're not going to camp, just because later on, we're going to have the community drum circle and all that. And so that's another thing too. Like if you do have some type of drum or percussion instrument, bring that. But we will have some extras, as well for that. But and then like a reusable water bottle or something like that, if you have it. And yeah, and like Beth said, for anybody camping, just any kind of camping supplies that you may need.
Yes. But really not, Could somebody just pull up with their RV and plug it in?
So
Or is
we're
it
not
more-
really doing
Okay.
RVs for this particular experience. It is primarily more tent camping or car camping, you know, for those that do want to camp, to have that experience. But again, you know, there will be an option to be able to take a shower or something like that, you know, if you'd like to do that, they will have access to that. So, and
Bathrooms.
bathrooms as well.
Yeah.
I have a question about little outdoor shower area. Is there a toilet there, or will they have to go inside for the toilet?
Yeah, we'll have everyone go into the farmhouse to use the restroom.
Yeah, okay. All right. But the tree is off limits.
Yes, you can't use the restroom on the tree.
Unless you have the yellow wristband, then you can.
Right.
And again, that's extra.
Standing room only.
$150 extra for the yellow wristband. You can pee wherever.
It's a sacred experience.
Yeah.
All that.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, was there anything else that y'all want to share about it?
I have a question.
Go
I
on,
have another
Chris.
question. John, for those who don't know, because I'm not even sure if I really know, I've participated in it before, but explain to us what ecstatic dance is.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So, yeah, so ecstatic dance, you know, it's really, ecstatic dance is a thing that humans have been doing for the most part since there have been humans, you know, whether it was by themselves or in tribes, you know, throughout the history of the earth. So ecstatic dance is a modern reincarnation of that, so to speak. And ecstatic was really the name that caught on. But like when you really look at the meaning of ecstatic, you know, to be ecstatic can refer to a range and spectrum of emotions. You know, it's not just you know, complete bliss the whole time, but it's about feeling the full spectrum of emotions. So ecstatic dance is basically a conscious dance practice that takes participants through a whole experience. Like you start with an opening circle, and the way that we're going to do it this time, it'll be right after the drum circle. So it may be condensed a little bit from what, you know, an ecstatic dance experience would normally be, but it will still contain all the things. But anyways, you would start with an opening circle, and then typically you would have a little warm up after that. And then we start with the dance journey. And a lot of times that starts completely beatless, like ambient type music. And a lot of times can start like on the ground, you know, just really kind of arriving to the space. And then, so you're basically taking people through like a journey, kind of riding this wave of energy. So you're building in tempo and the types of music, kind of riding this wave. And then you reach a peak, and sometimes it can come down, and sometimes there can be more than one peak, you know, and that's kind of that like just peak energy state. And then you bring it down, and then eventually comes back down in tempo, and then kind of into ambient music at the end. And a lot of times will be followed by a brief sound bath and then a closing circle to where you can, you know, share anything that you would like to share during the experience. So you're really getting to experience a whole range of emotions and feelings, and just like really working through that stagnant energy. You know, I mean, we all ecstatic dance, you know, we may just be by ourselves in our living room and just moving to our favorite songs, you know, that's ecstatic dancing. And it's just really moving in a very conscious way. And you know, it can be totally introspective. Like you don't have to dance with a soul if you don't want to. Like if you need that space to just go within, like there's totally space for that, and people will be totally respectful. You know, if you do feel inclined to move with others and they welcome you into that space, you know, you can do that as well. It's totally up to each individual, and it's just moving in a conscious way to be able to move through, you know, that stagnant energy, because that's really what it is. It needs to be process and come out. It's just those emotions and everything is energy needing to be moved, and to know that you can move, in a non-judgmental space. So typically there's no talking or anything like that. Nobody recording with any kind of technology, which immediately takes pressure off of people, because nobody wants to be, filmed, and like that can get a lot of people in your heads. And it's essentially about getting out of your head and into your body, and just connecting with your body and the earth and with spirit. And it's a beautiful thing to know, that there's a space where you can move in this way with others, and totally judgment free, and just the holistic medicinal value of that is just, it's just a beautiful thing. It is so therapeutic, and that's the thing that we're looking to really bring back. We started that, early last year, and this is kind of the comeback, for Ecstatic Dance Mississippi, and we're going to have this at this event, and then we're hoping to get like a monthly practice going soon thereafter.
Yeah.
This is such a beautiful modality, and it's really changed so much for me. I mean, a lot of people, the way we grow up, there's kind of this culture with people like, you have to move this certain way, or it's like, oh, if you don't look this certain way or something like that. And a lot of people shut down from that and are scared to really express themselves, and so this really goes against the grain of all that, and like really gives you that space to know that you can truly move, however feels good in your body, and that you're really giving others permission to do that as well. So it's a very, very beautiful modality.
And I feel like
to
with this
express
being-
yourself in movement however you want. So there's not steps to it. There's not like a certain way that you have to move your body. So to me, it's really like, remember that feeling when you're in school and it's recess time and you're just let out of the building and you can just do whatever you want with your body and run around and be crazy. Like that, the music helps make the atmosphere of what's going to happen, but really nobody knows what's going to happen, because each individual person is experiencing the music themselves. And so it's really about getting in touch with your own body and what you feel you want to do in that moment, and really expressing yourself in that way. So I really love it. And I like how you described it from the DJ point of view, because I really never knew what the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of it really are. But from the perspective of just a person experiencing it, it really is about doing whatever you want to do in that moment.
Cool. And this will be taking place after dark, right? So that might give people a little more freedom to not be under the spotlight.
Right. And that was by design, which, by the way, this is all going to be around the bonfire. So we feel like that's really going to add this whole kind of tribal, feel and element. Think very hippie vibes. We're moving consciously and just, together around the fire. And so we're going to light the fire and then have the community drum circle for probably around a half hour. And then we're going to go into the dance after that, and we may build the fire back up a little more, so that it's just it's going to have a really, really cool kind of community tribal feel to it.
Ooh, and just think of the gift you're giving back to the land. Oh, ooh, okay. You probably mentioned this already, but about unplugging, sort of. Will y'all be collecting phones at the door and hiding them in the are you gonna be putting them in a bowl and putting them in their car, or putting them in the farmhouse?
I always say we've got to take everyone's phones and they can't have them. And I try to be like the phone police, but realistically, that again is your choice, right?
That
So I
is
think
true.
that all of us know this inherently, of when we put our phones down and we don't engage on our phones and we engage in real, in-person interactions, that is a more connected, fruitful, real life experience. And so that can be challenging if you're used to always being on Zoom, or you're used to using your phone as like a thing to do when there's a moment of stillness or silence. And so that's the challenge, is for you to see what it's like not to do that. And many of the retreats that we hold, what we do is we give it as an option. So there's a phone jail, and if you want to put your phone in jail, you can do that, and then just come to find, one of the organizers and say, hey, I need to check on my kids, or, I need to just see if I'm needed at the moment. But think about, I don't know, I'm kind of older than everybody, maybe not everybody, but I feel in the older generation, if I remember not having a phone. And so it really is a situation where we got by for many years, many moments of our lives without having that phone attached to us. And so that's another, choice of your own experience for this weekend, of whether or not you're going to be checking your Instagram the whole time or living in the moment of the event.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's exciting. I just, yeah. Thank you. Give me the dates one more time.
So it's Saturday, March 25th, and Sunday morning, March 26th.
Okay, I have one more question
Go on,
about
Krista.
the dream catcher space. You said that they had a I don't know if you referred to him as a shaman or medicine man or someone come out and put that space together. Was it just randomly placed in that spot, or was there some significance to the spot where he chose? Or do you know that?
Zay is a Mayan timekeeper, and it was selected based on longitude and latitude, and that it is a wrinkle or a portal.
So it wasn't, there was a significance.
Yes.
It was placed. Very cool. Very cool. I think, is there any other questions? So how do people get tickets or register for the event?
Yeah, so we're finalizing everything actually today, and we should, you can we'll have links on the Facebook and Instagram pages for the Eventbrite registration page. So we'll post the links there. They'll be on Instagram and Facebook for sure. For that would be the most direct way to get there.
So right now, I know that you have already shared that y'all have email. I'm sure the Holistic Hearts Collaborative at gmail.com, that
Correct.
if somebody just really wants to know about it before we have, they can email that.
Absolutely.
Correct. And get, and I'll add on our website, I'll put along with this in the show notes in the description, the information that y'all have already provided me. So, oh, this sounds so much fun. I want to come. I don't know if I'm going to be in town, but it's a little further away from me. I would have to camp because I'm over 2 hours away from, about 3 hours away from you guys. But anyway, it sounds like it is going to be an awesome experience. But it's not a clothes optional, right?
There will be no naked dancing around the fire.
No comment.
We'll keep it PG-13 for this retreat.
Okay.
Speak for yourself.
Thanks for coming on. We're excited. It sounds like it's going to be a great time. Thanks, Beth and John and Jennifer, for coming on today and sharing about resonance. It sounds very exciting, and And
So make sure that you go to Holistic Hearts Collaborative on Instagram and on Facebook. You can follow us. This is just one of many events that we'll be doing in the future. We love collaborating with people. So if you're interested in getting involved in the event planning side of things and wanting to work with us to host an event in the future, then we're very, very open to that. But just follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we've got going on and reach out if you have any questions.
oh, it sounds great. Thank y'all. Sounds
Thank
like so
you.
much fun.
We're really excited about it. It's
Yeah.
going to be a really good time.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent.